6 million more people in another round of a ramped-up drive this week. And the search for Miss Philippines Earth is on as the pageant hopes to hold an on-site coronation this year. Candidates for national posts hold proclamation rallies across the country as the campaign season officially begins for the May elections. Some presidential hopefuls are here in Metro Manila, others in their hometowns, making the rounds to woo voters. CNN Philippines is closely monitoring developments on the ground, with our correspondents trailing the following. Labor leader Leody de Guzman in Quezon City and Senator Ping Lacson in Cavite. Former Senator Bongbong Marcos, meanwhile, in Bulacan, while Mayor Isko Moreno in Manila. We're also following Senator Manny Pacquiao in General Santos City and Vice President Leni Robredo in Camarines Sur. Let's head first to Naga City in Camarines Sur. Our senior correspondent Anjo Alimario is there. Anjo, what is the first day of Robredo's campaign like?
Well, Pia, Vice President Leni Robredo begins the toughest battle of her public service career with her fellow Bicolanos who vowed to deliver a solid vote to make her the first Bicolana president. And today she sought the support of her kababayans and to join her in her journey. Robredo and running mate Senator Kiko Pangilinan opened their campaign at the Angat Buhay village in Lupi. In this town, hundreds of victims of past calamities found a new home through the help of Robredo's office. Robredo finds deeper meaning in this project. It reflects how good governance can make a difference.
Dahil ito ang pinakahalimbawa na pag ang gobyerno tapat sa kanyang panunungkulan, pag ang gobyerno bumababa at pinapakiramdaman yung pangangailangan ng taong bayan, napapapunta sa tama ang pera na nasa kaba ng bayan.
Pangilinan is proud of their tandem. It has helped those in the sidelines without corruption.
Uunahin natin ang agrikultura at pangingisda. Dahil pag sinuportahan natin ang ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda, gaganda ang kanilang ani, gaganda ang kanilang huli. Pag gumanda ang ani at huli, dadami ang pagkain sa merkado. At pag marami na ang pagkain sa merkado, ang karne, ang gulay, ang bigas, mumura na, abot kaya na ang pagkain.
The tandem comes with its Senate slate, former Ifugao Representative Teddy Bagilat, human rights lawyer Chel Jokno, Senator Risa Ontiveros, Attorney Alex Lacson, Labor leader Sari Matula, former Senator Sani Trillanes, Senator Laila de Lima, who sent her representative, and guest candidate Senator Richard Gordon. Bicol region, especially Camarines Sur province, has turned pink. Supporters from all walks of life show their love for Robredo, Pangilinan, and their Senate team.
Dahil sa hindi korap at mahal naman niya ang Pilipinas, siya po yung nagpapakita ng may malasakit sa mga tao at siya rin po yung nagbibigay ng inspirasyon sa aming mga kabataan para mas lalo namin ipakilala ang aming sarili, lalong-lalo yung mga kababaihan.
To observe health protocols, Robredo uses the Speak Up to campaign and address supporters. She's joined by her daughters, Aika, Trisha, and Jillian. She also visited Libmanan, Tigaon, and Iriga City before attending a mass at the Naga City Cathedral. You know what, Pia, the first day of the campaign for the Leni Kiko tandem was quite long. It's quite a packed day, but they said they are ready. They are made for this moment, for this journey, and Robredo will even try to break her own record and reach as many communities, as many people for her presidential run. And as you can see behind me, the proclamation rally is still ongoing. Senatoriables are beginning to deliver their individual messages. You have senatorial Attorney Chel Jokno who spoke earlier, and now it's the turn of Senator Laila de Lima, who will be represented by Attorney Dino De Leon. And some celebrities have already performed. like the company and some celebrities have also delivered their messages in person and some through video like Jolina Magdangal and Isa Casado, and we're still of course waiting for the much awaited speech of presidential candidate Vice President Leni Robredo. Pia.
Well, Anjo, you've all been on your feet for more than 12 hours. So from there, Camarines Sur, what is her next stop? Does she plan to visit the so-called Solid North, go up to Ilocos?
Well, tomorrow, Pia, is going to be a long day again. The Leni Kiko tandem will head to Camarines Norte, to Albay, then to Sorsogon. They will also travel to some provinces in southern Quezon in the coming days. And we also got information that they will be visiting provinces in northern Luzon, but there's no details yet. But again, they are prepared for this. They will try to reach as many communities as possible, Pia.
Anjo Alimario there in Naga City in Camarines Sur. Well, Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte now holding their proclamation rally at the Philippine Arena in Bulacan. Organizers claim over 25,000 supporters will attend from different parts of the country. Our correspondent Rex Remigio in Santa Maria, the town of Santa Maria there in Bulacan, joining us live. Rex, how is their campaign kicking off so far?
Well, some political analysts are calling the proclamation rally of Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte as a show of force. Thousands of supporters are joining the event. Organizers are even claiming over 25,000 of their supporters are present now inside the venue. And aside from the tandem, they're also presenting their senatoriables officially. But Rodriguez, however, saying that the one who will complete the lineup may be known in the coming days. The Uniteam Alliance tandem is holding it in the world's largest indoor arena by far. It's owned by Iglesia ni Cristo, known for its ability to command its members to vote for its chosen candidate. Marcos' spokesperson, Attorney Vic Rodriguez, however, denies the INC is already endorsing BBM and Sara.
Ang ginamit lang namin ay yung the Philippine Arena at walang sino mang makakaalam, siguro kahit sinong kandidato magsasabi na na-endorso na siya ng ganitong grupo o ng ganitong samahan. Wala. It's just the start of the campaign period.
Well, they haven't also invited President Duterte, Sara's father. Rodriguez only says they have no obligation to invite the president in a political activity. Also, getting inside the arena was not easy. One has to be fully vaccinated, undergo an antigen swab test in the area, and of course, a negative result. Some supporters from different areas in the country, meanwhile, have arrived at the venue as early as 9 a.m. Most of them are wearing red, some are donned in green, and are carrying banners. They have different hopes in which they believe the BBM-Sara tandem can fulfill.
Maluluklok na si BBM. Iyan ang isa namin, ilalapit sa kanya na matulungan kami magkaroon ng livelihood. Para magkaroon ng trabaho.
Po sa pagbubukas ng ating ekonomiya, doon po kasi po papalapit na din po akong magtatrabaho.
Rodriguez also says that viral photos of tickets sold for 200 pesos is just a cheap propaganda against the tandem. Now the event started at 4 p.m. Hosted by actress Tony Gonzaga. At first, it really feels like a concert with all the vibe, lights, and sounds. The production effort is immense. Various singers and rappers supporting the Marcos Duterte tandem also perform on stage. And we're still waiting for Marcos and Duterte to deliver their respective speeches. Back to you.
Rex, what are their campaign plans now? Strategy? Any shift in strategy for the coming days?
Well, they admit that the COVID-19 pandemic remains a challenge. They're planning to campaign only in areas under COVID-19 alert level 2, and they will focus more on face-to-face campaigns instead of virtual sorties. Pia.
Rex Remigio there reporting from the Philippine Arena in Bulacan. The Lacson-Soto tandem marked the start of their campaign in vote-rich Cavite. The two veteran politicians began the day with a mass, then met with supporters at the Imus grandstand. Let's bring in our George Cahiles, who's been following the candidates all day. George, how did Caviteños welcome Senators Lacson, one of their own, and Soto?
Well, Pia, the Lacson Soto tandem is warmly received here in Cavite. In fact, aside from thousands of people that you're seeing now behind me here at the Imus Grandstand, dozens of local officials coming from different municipalities and cities in the province are also present here to express their support to the duo. Now, as far as the campaign strategy is concerned now, Pia, according to Senator Lacson, one thing is for sure, that discipline and health protocols will be strictly enforced. Supporters of presidential candidate Senator Ping Lacson and his running mate Senate President Tito Soto are seated orderly on physically distanced chairs inside the Imus Grandstand in Cavite. The Lacson-Soto tandem wants their political rallies to reflect the message of their campaign: discipline and adherence to rules. Lacson says they will not sacrifice the health and welfare of their supporters just for the optics.
We will run a very disciplined campaign. Disciplined in the sense na dahil may health protocols, I think yun na doon kami mag-stand out. No? Makikita yung diferensya compared sa ibang mga kandidato.
Yung disiplina, hindi mawawala sa amin yun. Yun din ang gusto namin kasama sa programa namin sa gobyerno yun eh. Gawing madisiplina uli ang gobyerno.
Both Lacson and Soto are 73 years old. Despite their age, they declare they're in good shape and will focus on grassroots consultations across the country during the 90-day campaign period.
Dadalaw kami doon sa, alam mo yon, mga pangkaraniwang common folks, makipagkwentuhan at malaman namin ano yung common, mga ordinary problems ng mga tao sa lansangan, tao sa mga karinderya, tao sa barberya. Yun ang isa naming kinukonsidera na puntahan na sa ganun, walang crowd.
As early as the day we decided to run, we were prepared mentally and physically.
The Lacson-Soto tandem considers Cavite as their bailiwick, with over 2 million registered voters. Earlier, however, Cavite Governor John Vic Remulla in a Facebook post said Lacson may not be able to get the majority votes in the second most vote-rich province in the Philippines. Lacson nevertheless says he's quite confident that his fellow Caviteños will rally behind him, just like during the previous elections. Well, of the initial 15 senatorial candidates in the Lacson-Soto slate, 5 are joining them tonight on stage. They are former PNP Chief Guillermo Ilazar, Dr. Mingita Padilla, former Makati Representative Monsur del Rosario, former Agriculture Secretary Manny Peñol, and former Senator J.V. Ejercito, and the rest just sent representatives or video messages. Soto says most of the re-electionist senators managed to talk to them and explain why they cannot make it tonight. But Senator Lacson explained that those senatorial candidates will remain in their senatorial slate for as long as they will not openly endorse other presidential candidates and vice presidential candidates. Pia.
George Cahilas there, trailing the Lacson-Soto tandem in Imus, Cavite. Over 13,000 children aged 5 to 11 have received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. Government officials describe the initial rollout of the pediatric vaccination here in Metro Manila as very successful. So far, there was only one reported case of an adverse reaction, with a child in Parañaque City experiencing mild rashes. No other details made available, but officials insist it was manageable. The country hopes to inoculate at least 70% of the more than 15 million Filipino children within the age group. Nationwide rollout will start on February 14. Officials also hopeful local governments can take their cue on how to host kids' vaccinations, similar to how they've been done in the past 2 days.
I suppose they have to be consistent. In other words, the innovation, the creativity, the very colorful come-ons, the goodies, the ice cream. Sana araw-araw, ganon.
We have to vaccinate this younger generation because it will preserve the Filipino generation in our future. Kasi kung hindi natin sila alagaan, mahirap nakita natin they will be vulnerable.
Education Secretary Leonor Briones says vaccinating elementary school children will pave the way for their physical return to schools and the holding of safer face-to-face classes. Tourism Secretary Berna Romulo Puyat, meanwhile, says families can now look forward to more fun trips and vacations since vaccinated kids can now tag along. The DOH says about 500,000 children have signed up for vaccination. Well, after the expansion of vaccination efforts for kids as young as 5, the government wants to immunize 6 million people in the third round of the mass vaccination program. Now, that is set for this Thursday and Friday, February 10 and 11. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez says the government aims to administer primary doses to 4 million people and booster shots to 2 million others. The rollout will cover all persons aged 12 and above. Over 59 million Filipinos have been vaccinated against COVID-19. Still ahead, it is day one for the campaign of presidential candidate Leody de Guzman, who proceeded with his proclamation rally even without a permit. And the search for the next Miss Earth Philippines begins as the pageant or as applications open for the 2022 edition. More when we return. You're watching Newsnight. I'm Pia Ontiveros. Presidential candidate Manila Mayor Isko Moreno and his running mate Willie Ong kicking off their campaign as early as 7 this morning. Our Paolo Barcelon gives us an update live from Manila. Paolo, is the proclamation rally still going on, and what is the situation there?
Pia, good evening. The proclamation rally of Acción Democrático has just started a few minutes ago. That's because the motorcade of the Moreno-Ong ticket ended late. It ended past 5 o'clock this afternoon. We just heard Acción Democratico Chairperson Ernest Ramel, who said that tonight is a welcome and a historic night for the party. If you recall, Pia, the last time Acción Democratico fielded a presidential and vice presidential bet was in 2004 when the tandem of the late former Senator Raul Roco and former Tarlac Congressman Hermie Aquino ran for the presidency and vice presidency. Now, Moreno Ong and their Senate bet, Samira Guto, who's speaking right now, as well as Jopet Sison and Carl Balita, they had a very long day today. They attended Mass early in the morning in Tondo, and they went on a motorcade joined by a throng of enthusiastic supporters, making the implementation of physical distancing a challenge.
Wala, hindi mo mapigilan ng tao, pero I'm very grateful and napaka, alam mo yon, yung heartwarming, yung parang hindi ko maipaliwanag eh. Basta masayang-masaya ako sa mainit na paghatid nila sa atin.
Moreno's campaign strategist Leito Banayo says he hopes the poll body would see the current situation and make adjustments to allow candidates more breathing room to interact with supporters. During his listening tours, Moreno had been closely interacting with supporters, but today he's on a flatbed truck surrounded by staff tossing giveaways and without the usual shaking of hands and selfies due to COMELEC regulations.
We can't debate with the COMELEC over those rules, no? But hopefully they will see that it will be very difficult also to police or to ascertain, no, strict conformity with these rules. No?
Meanwhile, Pia, back here at the Kartilya ng Katipunan, Moreno is expected to deliver a speech in the next few minutes or so. Endorsements are also expected to be made by several key politicians, including Senate President Pro Tempore Ralph Recto, House Deputy Speaker PJ Garcia, and Taguig City Mayor Lino Cayetano, which Mr. Banayo says will have an active role in the Moreno-Ong Tandem's campaign. Pia.
Paolo Barcelon there reporting from Manila. We now head over to General Santos City in South Cotabato, where presidential candidate Senator Manny Pacquiao is starting his campaign. Cian Arcangel joins us for the latest. Cian, go ahead.
Residents of General Santos City throw their all-out support for Senator Manny Pacquiao's presidential bid, like they did in his boxing fight. Around 25,000 supporters gathered at the stadium here to cheer the city's beloved son, who literally fought his way from poverty to become a billionaire politician. Supporters we've talked to say that same thing. Pacquiao deserves to become the next president because of his compassion for the poor. Many of Pacquiao's supporters have been here since noon, braving the heat to see him.
Kasi marami siyang plano eh. Marami siyang magandang plano sa Pilipinas. Yun lang ang siguro ang makatulong sa mga mahirap.
Yes po.
Bakit?
Kasi aside sa syempre from Jansan siya, yung puso niya para sa masa, nandyan po.
Kasi nakikita naman namin kung ano yung mga sinasabi ni Senator o ni President Manny Pacquiao na para talaga sa mahihirap. Hindi kami naniniwala sa mga kasinungalingan dyan, sa mga sabi-sabi.
Yes, 100% ang Jansan kay Manny Pacquiao suporta. Pacquiao country. Karapat dapat sa iboto para sa mahirap, para sa masa, Manny Pacquiao, lahat tayo.
Former broadcaster Manny Rafi Tulfo, who's among the top-ranked senatorial bets, is expected to personally attend Pacquiao's proclamation rally. Also present is former Eastern Samar Governor Luzgardo Barbo. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian is actress Bianca Manalo. Pacquiao's running mate, Buhay Party List Representative Lito Atienza, will be giving a video message. Atienza needed to stay in Manila since he recently lost his balance. Other senatorial candidates will be giving video messages since Pacquiao shares them with other presidential bets. Pacquiao's
Right, I think we lost that signal to Cian Arcangel, who was reporting live from General Santos City on the Manny Pacquiao campaign. Now, presidential candidate Leody de Guzman pushing through with his proclamation rally. The Commission on Elections had said his event could be an election offense since a permit is required. Chrissy Di Matulak joins us live from the Bantayog ng mga bayani in Quezon City for the latest. Chrissy?
Yes, Pia, despite having no permit, it's still all systems go for the campaign of Leody de Guzman. COMELEC earlier announced that the camp of Cal Leody failed to apply for a campaign permit. Still, the Labor leader continued or carried on with his motorcade starting from his home at Cainta, Rizal all the way to the ABS-CBN compound in Quezon City. He then proceeded to his proclamation rally at the Bantayog ng mga bayani in Diliman, Quezon City, where 1,500 people were expected to attend. De Guzman says the current situation will not stop his campaign plans for today.
Nasa ganung sitwasyon kami ngayon na obligadong ituloy dahil malaki na yung paghandang nagawa.
Pia de Guzman adds he does not want all resources and efforts meant for today to go to waste. Cal Leody ran for senator but lost in the 2019 elections. He now has set his sights on the presidency, which he says will give him a bigger platform for his advocacies, including ending contractualization and providing more opportunities for farmers and fisherfolk. Pia?
Chrissy, since Cal Leody proceeded with his campaign, did he talk about the possibility of facing sanctions for that?
Yes, Pia. According to Cal Leody, his team or his camp has already allotted great effort for the campaign. According to the team, given the preparations, he says they have no other choice but to proceed. Under COMELEC rules, an election offense could result to fines, jail time, or even disqualification. According to Cal Leody, he hopes that the sanction will not result to his disqualification. Back to you, Pia.
See Di Matulak there reporting from Quezon City. Now here's a look at the proclamation rallies of other presidential contenders. Democratic Party of the Philippines standard bearer Dr. June Montemayor is currently holding his event in Pasay City. Former Duterte spokesman Ernesto Ernie Abella will stage his caravan and proclamation rally in Cavite tomorrow. Former Defense Secretary Norberto Gonzales will hold his proclamation rally next Tuesday, February 15th. And the team of businessman Faisal Mangundato says the presidential candidate has yet to schedule an event. Mangundato, Pacquiao, and Gonzales have confirmed they are taking part in COMELEC's campaign e-rally this 7 p.m. Some vice presidential and senatorial candidates are also expected to participate, as well as party lists and political parties in the 2022 race. Well, still on Newsnight, just 5 more days until alpine skier Asa Miller hits the slopes at the Beijing Winter Olympics. Take a closer look at his preparations. And the search for the country's Miss Next Earth Queen is on. You're watching CNN Philippines. Welcome back. Only 5 days left until we see the country's only representative show off his skills at the Winter Olympics in Beijing. Alpine skier Asa Miller, not Asa as I said earlier, is competing in 2 events for his second Winter Games stint, the men's giant slalom on Sunday, February 13, and the men's slalom next Wednesday, February 16. The 21-year-old told CNN Philippines it's been great practicing alongside some of his opponents. Now back here at home, the search for Miss Philippines Earth officially begins. The pageant now accepting applications with the online screening set for March 1. It's also eyeing an on-site coronation this 2022 after 2 years of virtual events. The competition looks to promote the protection of animal life with the theme Me Loves Fauna for its 22nd edition. And that is it for tonight. Join me again on news.ph at 7 p.m. and for a Politics as Usual special at 8 tonight, not 8:30, 8 o'clock. I'm Pia Ontiveros for Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines.